I'm Matt Jablonski. I have one son. He's now 16 years old. I live in Elyria, Ohio. I'm an American history teacher at Elyria High School. I believe that I've learned as a father how little it is that I know, but I've also learned that I've got to evolve in that position as a person, or evolve in that role, because what I realize I'm good at one point is not something necessary later. I joked with my son earlier that I found out that I was really good at changing diapers, but now that he's 16 years old, that's not something that I need to know how to do. I need to be able to communicate differently to help him out in other ways. And so I guess I've learned that being a father is about evolving in that role as a father. My favorite part about being a dad is finding common ground or having common experiences with my son. And again, over the course of his life, it's been different. I can remember when he was really little, I'd come home from work and we would nap. He would nap on me, and then later we would read stories, and that was that common moment. And then still later, I can remember throwing hundreds of pitches to him in the yard, and that being that common moment. And I wasn't, I'm not trying to convey anything to him. I'm not necessarily trying to teach him anything, but we're enjoying ourselves and our time together. And so when you do those things, whether it's the reading or baseball, or even later taking him and his friends to the skate park, or when I coached his soccer team, it's those small moments, those little moments that you spend with another human being, and in this case, your child, that are very, very wonderful. Now I look forward to the next couple years with him, because at 16, he's got 2 years of high school left. As a teacher at Elyria High, he's now in the building with me. So the last couple years have been interesting, and I'm going to teach for 35 years, and these 4 years are going to be very special because I get to spend them with my son in the building. And so this year was really cool because he was actually in my class, and then over the next couple years, while I won't have him directly as a student, I'm looking forward to seeing what draws his interest, who he becomes as an adult, where he looks to go from here. And I think it's something very special that we get to share with one another. I don't think that I'm any sort of expert on fatherhood. In sharing these things, it's very much about my experience and the way that I've done things. And I also tend to second guess every decision that I make. And I think that it's sort of natural, as a parent. I talk to other parents about stuff like this, where you make that decision to say start your child in school a year early, or to wait a year later, and then we made that decision, and of course I then second guessed it immediately, and any other decision like that I continue to second guess. And so I think that it's natural to doubt your abilities and to maybe not have that incredible confidence, because while there are hundreds of books written about parenthood, there's nobody telling you the exact right thing that you should be doing, and so you kind of do it and really, quite honestly, hope for the best. When I think about my dad, I think about my grandfather as well. These are working class people. My dad worked a lot, and my grandfather as well. But again, they always managed to make that time for us, and I felt that was important. And it was, looking back, I hear, if you read books or you watch movies or things like that, there's often maybe a big moment, the character, sitting on their father's knee while the father conveyed some great depth of knowledge to them. And I don't recall any of those moments or any single thing that was said, but based on my experiences with those guys, and again, my grandfather, my dad, I realized that, that they taught me that hard work is important, that they taught me that that acceptance is important, that there is a place for justice and doing the right thing, that it's important to treat people the way that you want to be treated. And again, they didn't tell me these things. They helped people in their community. They helped their family members. They were open to new experiences. That's who they were. And so through their example, I learned that stuff. And so I think the value of having that father figure there is to be able to see what it is that they do. And maybe that's, maybe that it, like I say, in some cases that was my dad, or it was my grandfather, but I can remember coaches that played that role as well, or men who were teachers who played that role, other individuals in the community. So, and to be fair, it's fathers and mothers. It's the way that you see other humans interact with one another. And so maybe in that it's less about gender than it is the individuals that you're interacting with, for sure.